Hi and welcome to our podcast channel. And today, Paramita Brumawi will be talking a lot about something that probably also living among us, which is going to be AI or artificial intelligence, where we mostly use it in our daily basis, not only for our general activities, but also for our professional activities as well. And right now with me in the studio, I'm also going to talk with several experts that will talk about AI or generative AI, as we all know and probably loved about. With me right now is Prashant, Mr. Prashant. He is the head of cloud developer advocacy. And then we have Tuya.
Hello.
Yes, Tuya is the senior developer advocate at Google Cloud. And then we have Mr. Alvin.
Hello.
Mr. Alvin is the developer advocate at Google Cloud. And last but not least, we also have Mr. Joan Santoso, the Google developer experts, AI or ML. Hi, everyone.
Hi. Hello.
How have you been?
Doing well, thank you.
Enjoying, yeah.
Enjoying Surabaya so much?
Yeah.
Okay, so for viewers that probably didn't know that our guest today had a event in Surabaya quite recently, and they were talking about the generative AI in action, and it's a roadshow where Surabaya is their destination for the second roadshow in Indonesia. How's the event so far? How's the support from the communities or the audience so far for the event? Who wants to answer the question?
I can probably start. So definitely it's been really exciting, right? One, as you said, this is the second event that we're putting together. We have got a lot of support from the community organizers, right? So the GDG organizers of Surabaya, the GDEs are helping us also deliver some of these events. And I think this is very interesting, right? So one, the local community feels the passion to share this kind of a knowledge, put together these kind of events for the local developers, for the local community. So I think it's really amazing. It's good to see that kind of an interest. And the turnout has been great. Room is full of developers, practitioners, folks who are interested in learning something. We see them focused, hands-on, building stuff. So definitely, really exciting.
Really exciting. What about you, Tuya?
I feel that the energy in the room is like really great, and they are all very hungry to learn more about how, generative AI can be used to improve their life, improve their work, and things like that.
Okay. Mr. Alvin?
They sure really want to be involved in the workshop itself. They are not waiting to wait someone come to them. They are proactively reach out to me, to Prashant, and controlling some errors. This is a really environment we want to be in a workshop, and it's a perfect situation as well.
Some sort of like a forum group discussions, I see, yeah? Okay, what about you, Mr. John?
I'm quite surprised that was the first time when we are planning to arrange this. I only 200 people come, but because of the energy and the enthusiasm, and the government also support us, and they bring all the IT department to here and attend this event. So the participant is not only 200, but more than 200. It's on 265 person who attend to the event. So it's like very interesting. This is different before from the last time event.
Okay, so we can say that Surabaya people are very excited to gain knowledge, to share their problems, or probably solving their problems with you guys. So, what kind of discussions that you guys mostly have for the event today? Mr. John probably wants to answer.
Okay, so the discussion start with the Prashant tell about the keynotes about the agentic era, about the generative AI, and how the newest technology from Google. And also the Tuya brings some also the study case, so the people can also can try to build something, and try to understand how the generative AI is work. And also Alvin demonstrate some of the multimodal API, which is the newest thing in the Gemini technology. And for me, I will bring the last part of all the workshop, which is the evaluation and how we will so that the agent have the knowledge. But now Esther, my colleague, is trying to present about how we create an agentic agent for using the Gemini technology.
That's very interesting. Probably most, let's say, like people by the age for like 50 above probably doesn't have any ideas. What is Gemini? What is AI? But somehow, yeah, with this probably they can help, we can help each other to understand quite more about, technologies, in this case, AI. But, what do you think about, the Surabaya's, developer systems ecosystem, in Surabaya so far?
I mean, you can see the energy, and like I mentioned before, and most of the people has attended previous sessions with like Build with AI,
Yes.
Gemini sprints and things like that as well. That is organized by GDG Surabaya. And there's also GDG Cloud Surabaya, which is like crowd branch of the GDG, Google Developer Groups. So I feel like the developers are trying to, catch up on the technology, try to stay on top of them, getting understanding and try to integrate. Right? So I actually talked to some of the people. They're working on interesting projects, like either from the government, either from their personal, either from their work, right? How do I actually use Gen AI that you talk about in my work? Or how do I actually improve what I've been working on with the new technologies that are coming up and things like that. So those are exciting.
Yeah, that's quite interesting. So we know that AI now is being used for our work, for job opportunities as well. What do you think about that? AI as our, let's say, friend for, for doing or solving our job problems. Anyone?
Sure, I think, and what you said is right. Right? It's exactly that. AI is available to us to use, right? And we have to understand, we have to come up with a way of using it efficiently and effectively, right? So yes, I think it's good to treat AI as a friend, as something that you can, let's say, leverage to enhance your own output, your own productivity, your own thought process. Whether you are somebody, whether you're a creator, you can use AI to bounce ideas off it, use AI to help summarize the world, use AI to probably expand your knowledge that you're having. So use it from a creative point of view. For developers, use it to write code more efficiently, build software more efficiently, right? So leverage AI in a way that, it's your friend. We call these as AI agents these days, right?
Okay.
That's a new term that we're using. Use it as an agent so that it can help you solve tasks more effectively and efficiently.
Right. But as we see, when AI first came out, it's just like, probably let's just picture it. This is just like something from the start, right? It's just like a starter, but now it's developed quite so much. How do you see the development of AI, generative AI?
I think it's future potential that is even hard to imagine what can we do. Like maybe several months ago we can only text with it. It cannot understand image. It cannot understand voices. It cannot identify any song. But right now I'm just demoing, we can chat with it fluently without typing anything. It can see us. It can see what our computer has. So it definitely has more potential, more solution to any problem that we want to solve, right? We are using our computers every time. We are using our smartphone every time. Now it's up to us to imagine what can we do, what kind of information that we can retrieve from this kind of assistive AI.
Okay, before we get or dig deeper into that, I have one question for Mr. Joan. How do you see AI's development in Indonesia so far, Mr. Joan?
As a background from industry and education, AI actually back then was in the academia only, not applied in the industry. But now within last 2 or 3 years, we already know that Indonesia has already utilized AI in the industry. Now in the era of agentic, I think all the big tech company has been utilized AI in daily works. Okay, so the development AI in Indonesia is rapidly growing. We can see now many applications use AI right now in Indonesia.
Right. If we're talking about AI, it's all like just rainbows and sunshines and all that. But of course, obviously, there's going to be challenges as well. I'm just going to ask Mr. Joan first. What are the challenges that faced by most Indonesians while they are using generative AI?
Mostly of the people, let's say, we can separate the two of users, which is know about the AI and just know about the term of AI. I can say like that. If you say know about the AI, the most important things and the most challenging was the data and how we build a responsible AI so it can be used by another people safely. But if you say who know about the term of AI, which is it's the dangerous things about the digital literacy, that they must know how to use AI effectively. What kind of this, what kind of this object? What is an AI? How we deal with it? We can see that many people use AI, but how about they use it effectively and safely for them? They just use it without any further
Research?
without research, and they only use it, let's say, provide their privacy data to the AI without further thinking about it. So if you see at the most challenging, I think, about the person who use the AI, they must know about these tools, and they must know how to prevent and how to secure the application so that it can be good impact, not the bad impact.
Great. Okay. So it's just going to be like a general questions for all of you. Still speaking about challenges as well. We know that, I mentioned previously that it's not always, the good thing that we gain from AI, but sometimes also the bad thing as well, especially when it comes to, privacy, piracy out there. There's a lot of that point happening nowadays as well. What do you guys think in your opinion? What do you think about that?
So for us, we care about privacy very, very seriously. So from Google Cloud, most of the tools are vetted to kind of provide the environment for the enterprise to be securely store the data and use the tools that we need. We also provide tools like image generation checker, like SIM-ID, whether you can check whether this generated photo is being generated by our tools or not. Things like that. So we are working on that, and then we are progressively improve on this kind of aspect as well.
Okay, but if we got to the bigger scope, how, as like probably several other users that are not really into like tech or technologies, they wanted to check. Do you guys like have any tips or tools that they probably can use, or I don't know, some tips from you for like checking for those that not really into technology but they wanted to get to know deeper about it?
Yeah, so if you're not technical and you're just like a user, you can use Gemini from gemini.google.com. It's like a chat bot where you can ask questions, ask about flight information, ask about hotel reservation, many questions that you can ask. So it's like a personal chat bot. But when you want to be more factually accurate, you can actually ask it to cite the resources that they get it from, right? So what's the cutoff date for this information? Where do you find these kind of sources? And it will eventually give you that, and you can actually fact check yourself.
Okay, so it's going to be very useful to our viewers. So by chance you find something out there that probably you're quite debating, is it real or not? You can just quite check it.
Yeah, ask for source.
To know which one is actually holding it, like the original probably pictures, or even so the news as well. Because sometimes we also face how hoax and stuff generated using AI, right? And let's go back to the privacy data. And now I want to ask about the privacy data protections in the usage of AI. Do you guys have any point of view regarding that?
So AI, consider it as regular software engineering, right? Any kind of data security practices, privacy practices that we follow when we do software engineering, we should follow the same things with AI as well, right? So for example, you don't store credentials, passwords in plain text, right? Do not send your passwords to your AI, right? Think about these kind of aspects. Let's say a personal identification document, right? You will not just upload it anywhere on the internet and leave it lying there. Maybe you don't send those things to the AI as well. So I think it's just, your traditional software engineering practices we need to be cognizant of those same practices while we're using any new technology, right? Today it's AI, tomorrow there may be something else. But as long as we follow standard basic hygiene, we should be good, right? So let's start with that first. And then yes, this is as a piece of technology that we are using. It is very new. It is evolving. We are coming up with more and more practices and guidelines around all of this, right? So it is an evolving field. As we use it more, we sort of try and understand what are some of the best practices that we should encourage people to follow, right? So we're getting like the synth ID that you mentioned is something that emerged from that, right? So it's an evolving field, I guess.
Okay, so yeah, the AI is probably when we first introduced with AI, most industries that probably use it is the education and then probably the creative industries. What do you think about the use of AI in these these industries? Do you see it as like a threat, or is it just going to be a tool that helps them?
Maybe from my perspective, especially in the education sector, I see that this is a really, really good tools to be utilized. From my perspective, I see that the repetitive works in education. So we see, maybe Johan can really relate it with this. We need to be creative on how to create a test for the students. And then after the test is finished, how we can effectively create it, how is the quality of the answers, how can we do it at scales, because there will be so many classes, so many students. I've experienced it in my university, even as assistant, with only handle a small subset of the other students. It's really, really tiring. And imagine this for all of the teachers in Indonesia, all of the educators out there. This will be a good starting point for them to utilize this AI to help make their workload more effective. But as they are going toward this way, they also need to ensure whether the approach they use it, will it really helpful? Will it be truthful to their students? Will it really are they can 100% trust the result of this kind of evaluation? So it back to how we educate the community, how we set the expectation about this AI, how we choose the correct partners or the trustful partners to help us bringing this AI product to us. Yeah, so that's my kind of perspective.
Okay, Mr. John, do you want to add Mr. Alvin's statement?
Yeah, imagine you are a teacher. You need to create teaching materials. Imagine if you want to create some videos, but you need to take the video. But now in the era of AI, we can create it by artificial intelligence, and it may be more not have any resources. If a person who don't have any resources, who don't have any time, it's more simple to them to develop their teaching material, and it make the teacher more easily to teach and deliver the education. So, but what I want to say, there will be good things and the bad things about the AI. So the important things is we not only know about the positive things, but we know also the bad or the negative of the AI. Just to give some warning to us, so we can use safely and efficiently to help in our daily life.
Okay. Do you see that? Okay. So let's pretend that we are the consumers, not becoming like the tech experts. If you see that people use AI, does it appear to you that it is their original work, or is it just AI work? What do you think about that?
So I can kind of like share my point of view, right? So I'm from software engineering background, and before all this AI and everything came about, right, we have this thing called Stack Overflow. right? So when you have a problems in codings, you kind of go through the Stack Overflow, see any other people faces the problem. Anyone provided a solution. Can I adopt that solution into my code, right? I don't mean to copy and paste, but I still have to adopt something. So with AI, I do less of that, rather than I'm kind of like thinking from, okay, how can I rewrite this code in a way that is more efficient? How can I, change this part of code to fit into maybe future expansion? How can I make this work for this environment that I'm deploying? Can I change this code into, Python to Java, Java to C++? I'm using that to help me do my job better. So it's not just about, I'm stealing someone else's code or I'm getting someone else's tools to do this. More like the driver is still me. I have idea, I have way that I want to get it done. It just helps me do like things that is mundane and tiring to do it. Writing code, translating, things like that.
What about the others?
I think it's, if I understand your question right, we have these artists, creators, original sources of work, right? I think they deserve to be protected. Now, unfortunately, I am not a copyright lawyer, so I don't understand the copyright rules and regulations as much. There is also the fair use policy. So there are a lot of these terms around there. I think it's important for the industry to figure out what makes sense, right? So on one hand, we need to protect the livelihood and the originality of these authors who are creating this content. On the other hand, I think it's good for the authors if you're able to get their work in the hands of connoisseurs, right, who can look at it. How to do it in an effective way is probably something the industry needs to figure out, right, without infringing on copyright laws and things.
Yeah, sure. Agreed on that. But do you see that probably in the next 5 to 10 years, the new AI technologies that you think will be a game changer? Do you see any possibilities?
It is improving at a breakneck speed, right? Like the AI technologies that were there probably a year back, it's very different. What we are seeing today is very different from that, right? When it first came out, this was mostly text-based, right? We did not have the multimodality that we're seeing today. And multimodality, multimodal AIs today unlocks so many opportunities and so many use cases, right? So within a span of just 1 year, there's a sea change that has happened. Of course, right? And with researchers, with the good thing that we're doing as a society is we are putting this information out there publicly, right? So any advances that we are making, we are putting the research papers out there, right? And it's the entire industry, right? I'm not talking just about Google. Of course, we put the Transformers papers out there in the beginning, which is sort of thing that sparked some of this work. But any new thing that's being created is being put out there. Others are building on top of it. So the whole research is really taking forward. I mean, you are saying 5 to 10 years, right? I can't even predict what's going to happen in the next 6 months.
It's
right?
true.
So it's
yeah. Anything could happen in the next 6 months. Yeah, true. Yeah. Anyone wants to ask? Mr. Alvin, probably? Or Mr. Tia, do you want to add?
I think I second that. Like, we just have a lot of changes over very short period of time, right? So when the Gen AI just came out, it was all text, and then now we can even talk, and they can talk back to us. It's more like a two-way communication nowadays. And I'm really excited for the future where you can have like a personal assistant can help you do planning, have you do many tasks that you're not supposed to kind of like spend time on. Like I just did this YouTube summarizer where you can try to summarize a YouTube video that's like 3 hours long in like very short time. I could just read through the video and things like that. So I'm excited about that.
Okay.
Maybe if I want to add, it's kind of a similar thing. It's maybe if you compare to advancement in Indonesia, maybe 10 years ago, I don't know what is the good purpose of having object digitalized, something like that. But now it's very hard to imagine them without accessing them from my phone. Using the AI is also similar like that. What Tuya had said, maybe last year I'm okay just coding by myself, but now if I'm not helped by AI to do the code, I might be confused. How can I do this quicker, do this faster? But this also comes with the challenge. We have this many advancement, many things are evolving at a rapid pace. The problem we discussed earlier, using AI, it's kind of you are having tools, whether you are doing it right or doing it wrong. Like we have cooking utensils. We can do it for cook, but we can also use it to hurt people. How can we keep up with this kind of trend? How can we guardrails the usage of AI? How can we protect the others, maybe from the creator, the artist, so that they can utilize this AI well, rather than the AI eat their portion of their creativity. So this is all of the things that we as a community need to think through and not using it just blindly.
Okay. This is very interesting, protecting others as well from probably the negative impact or negative vibe from the AI. Now, we have several cases out there about, let's say, fraud, where they're not only using what you called it as just based on text or news, but they also played along with voice. Sometimes they also use voice as a form to, taking advantages over the other. I know it's an advancement of AI, but what is your opinion about that?
I think it's unfortunate, in a sense, right, that we are using some of these technology for nefarious purposes, right? I think this is something again that comes with technology, with powerful technology. There are folks that try to misuse it. I think it's important for us to go figure out how to get beyond this, right? So on one hand, you have AI, not AI, right? Or maybe let's say any technology, right? I can't say it's just AI, but technology being misused. On the other hand, the same technology can also be used to detect these kind of things, right? So spam filtering, detecting these kind of, let's say, faked up videos that are being created, right? If you call it deep fake videos, I don't know what the latest term for those videos are, but AI can also be used for these purposes, right? So there's always a positive and a negative side to the whole story, right? Again, it's imperative for all of us to look at the positive side of it and how to use it to combat some of these negativity, right? So we need to look at that evolving field. There are problems. It's up to us. And I'm happy we realize that these kind of things can happen, right? If you are not aware that it can be used for such malpractices, then it is even more serious.
Yes.
But we're aware of it. So now it's up to us to go try and solve for it.
Yeah. Do you want to answer?
So I think it's a lot to do with like awareness and education, right? So when we have new technologies coming out, and a lot of people are kind of still kind of afraid of it, they don't want to touch it, but somebody who uses it in a bad way, and if you are not informed on how it can be abused, right? Like for example, there are a few tools out there that let you upload your photos and then help you to generate, let's say, regenerate your dress, your face, your hair. How safe are those tools, right? Have you even read their terms and conditions? How is your photos going to be used? If you're not informed, educated, then you probably wouldn't even think of doing that. You're just using for the tools, and some bad actor might use this as an advantage, or whether like a loophole to kind of like trick you to doing something, scam you to doing something. Some bad things can happen to you if you don't have that kind of, I would say, self-defense in the cyber space. Yeah.
True. Yeah, because we have several cases out there about fraud using voice sometimes when you, picking up a phone, and then they're going to be like, probably the sound is quite similar, the voice is similar with your significant others, for example, and then they're just going to fraud you. So best believe just check. So it's basically what we can do as for now. But probably in the future, there are technologies to filter those kind of calls or pranks, if I can say so. All right. So what advice would you, as with your background, for those probably youngsters who still dream to be like developers like you guys, advice for them about who want to delve into AI in the future?
I can probably start.
Yeah.
So, one, stay up to date with what is happening. It's a dynamic world. It's a fast-paced world, right? So we need to stay up to date with what new is coming out, what new technology is available to offer. So that's first. Again, events, like the community event that we're running here gives this kind of a opportunity to learn. Second, get hands-on, try it out. right? There's no use thinking that technology is amazing or what can I do with it unless you actually use it, put it to use and see what it's capable of, right? So I would really encourage students, young developers to learn these technologies, build stuff with it, right? Look at problems in your own backyard, right? Things that maybe you are facing as an individual, maybe something that your family has, let's say something that you can optimize for them, solve for them. Leverage AI, leverage these technologies to help them out. And that way you understand what technology can do, cannot do, and some of the security and other problems that we face. Unless you use it, you will not realize that. So I think that's, let's say, I'll stop there, I'll let the others share something, but key takeaway, be practical, utilize this technology so that you understand what it can and cannot do.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I'm from community, so find a community that keep you going. Right, it's kind of hard to know what you don't know. So having a community kind of like expose you to different ideas, different technologies, different way that people are using those technologies. By talking to your friends, you kind of like, oh, that's how it can be used. Okay, let me try something different in my time as well. Right, so find your clique. That some place that can help you to push to your boundary, explore different ideas, learn new updates. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. What about you, Mr. Alvin?
Yeah, maybe I will compliment from Prasan and Tuya has shared. Yeah, Prasan also already share. Be curious, explore, hands-on. Now, what my suggestion is, try to amplify this to the others. The other person will not know what is interesting if there are no anybody sharing about these interesting things. So try to share on social media, maybe try to make a writing, try to contribute in the community like what Tuya has said. And this kind of effect will make a ripple effect, which will become bigger from time to time because everyone is exploring, everyone is caring, not only for the curiosity, not only for the positive things, but also warning each other about the negative impact that it can be coming from the misguidance on how to use AI. So this is both for the advancement and to guard each other.
Yes, the advancement and also to guard each other because we never know. As the AI develops, we also come with many obstacles in the future as well as a citizens who probably still quite blind with what is AI or probably your significant others, families, friends who not really into technologies. So probably if you watch this, you can also educate your friends and families about the usage of AI and how to probably take the advantages only, not to make other people, feeling depressed or something like that. Okay, so still significant with my previous questions about how youngsters probably wants to delve into AI. Absolutely, I know as if for now the development of AI are quite, let's say, advanced as for now, right? We never know in the next 5 to 10 years. But as for now, there are many AI tools that are available. How can you choose the right one based on what you need? Whoever wants to answer for now?
I mean,
okay.
I can answer some of it. So first thing to figure out is what do you need? And most of the people struggle with that, right? Like, what do you really want to do, right? Do you want to, let's say, write a novel? Then in the novel, do you need graphics? Do you need videos? Do you need text? Even text, do you need like poems or normal kind of text? So it's different things that you would need to complete a job, right? And being able to identify what you need will push you into the right direction, right? So some of the consideration you can do is like, do I need my data to be only accessible to me, right? That means you have to just do it locally, which is out of the internet, right? And you need to, let's say, for example, generate or pull information from the internet. That you need something that can pull information from the internet using, let's say, Google Search API. Then you probably need something like function calling or something grounding. So you need to figure out what you need first. Then you kind of like direct to where you want to do. And think less about, I found this diagram and then this is like a holy grail. There are many ways you can actually make use of it. And this is all new technology. So people are still figuring out, there's a lot of exploratory things that we are doing, right? So be open-minded, but be specific on what you want to use, and then try to find based on what you need, do the right tools that you need.
Okay. Anyone wants to add?
Yeah.
So I'll just make a short quote, right? And then you can add.
Yeah.
Many years back, right? There used to be this thing about the digital SLRs, and you had these advanced cameras, and mobile phone cameras started becoming pretty good, right? And there used to be this thing, which is the best camera out there? I think the best camera is the one that you have with you, at hand with you, right?
True, yes.
Similar AI. There's so many tools out there. Just go try them out, right? Use the one that solves your needs. As simple as that, right? You don't need the best and the greatest that is out there, the most expensive one that is out there. You need the one that is solving your problem. So, try it out.
Maybe kind of similar what you has said, Prasan. As for me, I also consider who is providing this AI service to me, because I need to trust them so that I can use their services. So, from my perspective, I'm seeing that the companies who not only commercialize their AI, not only say that, oh, my AI is good, please use it, but the real company who do the real effort on how to mitigate the negative of AI usage is also a very trustable company. So that's why when one of my trust put in Google as a Googler, or maybe previously not Googler before, is I see that the real impact doing by Google to mitigate this kind of AI is a real action on how they want to ensure that their AI product is top notch. So yeah, so try to find your trusted provider.
Okay, find your trusted provider. But probably this is going to be a $1 billion question to probably all of you, because sometimes I also got this kind of questions coming from my friends and also families. Which one is better? I mean, is it going to be like the free one or the paid one, in your perspective?
There are a lot of things that you need to consider, right? Models are made available for free, which is something that you can try out, right? It's good to start off with, it's good to play with. Models that are free are not scalable in a way that you can build an application on top of it and put it into production, right? Because it takes cost to run models. Companies cannot just give you models for free and expect that you build apps, put it into production, serve users with those, right? Free is a great place to start. Right, with minimum investment or zero investment, you start playing around with these AIs, the APIs, and learn how to use it. Right, so I think it's a progression. Right, so it's not free versus paid. Right, you start with the free, learn the model, experiment with it. It gives you a path to get to a paid model that you can finally put to production. I think, and again, when you start talking about free and paid models, there's one thing that I would really recommend to all the users out there is think about. Please take a look at the terms and conditions of these models as well. It's very important, right? Because again, we spoke previously about data security, privacy, right? There's no such thing as free lunch. Right? So you want to ensure what is a free model, what does it do, what does it not do, right? What can they probably use in terms of your data and learn from it, right? And as you get towards paid models, as you get towards enterprise class models, you get some of these data security and privacy features built in, right? So do not use a free model and put it into production. There is a lot that you'll need to consider, but it's a journey. Start free, go towards your paid models.
Because if you pay more, then it's going to be a little bit more advanced, especially, I don't know, sometimes there's like some tools that we cannot use, right? And then if you paid for a subscription, then you gain those access. What do you think, guys, about the paid one and also the free one?
I would say that check the terms and condition, right? And if you're not paying with your money, might be paying with something else. It could be you're testing for them, right? Load testing or whatever kind of testing. It could be they're using your data to do something, right? So be aware of those free beta tools, right? And another thing is not every paid products can be, equally created. So you also need to figure out am I paying for the right services, right? You might think of it's good to have this kind of add-ons, but how often do you even use this kind of add-on, right? So pay for what you use and also, don't just use because it's free.
Just don't use it because it's free. Right?
Yeah, so you check first and then only pay for what you use.
True. Melvin.
I'm not really. My perspective is kind of same with Tuya and Pesat. Always check the term and condition because data privacy issue, and I always want to make sure that I paid for something, I get the value that I want, not only the added value that I'm not using it. So yeah.
Yeah, that is one thing and another. So probably best believe just check which one do you need, which tools that you wanted to use in the future. So it's going to be a very great, investment for you in the future if you probably just buy it instead of the free one. All right. So last but not least, guys, what is your message to the public regarding the use of AI, especially right now, right? And to ensure them that it is used wisely and responsibly. Any suggestions?
I can get started first. Right, so whenever I deliver a talk, I think it was like one of the most debated thing, or rather like most important message, right? So I personally want to build things that are fun and that are more responsible and something that is beneficial to the society, right? So if I'm doing something that is like nobody uses, then why do I even spend my time working on this kind of thing, right? So one of the things that I mention every time is try to think from like a societal perspective. By doing this, how does it gonna impact the people, right? Am I gonna save their time? Am I gonna make their life easier? Am I gonna save some of their work? Or am I gonna make my parents cry from doing this? Or how about the generation down the line? So there's a very phrase, think of the children, right? So you always think of the children first, and how would the children behave, right? Would you look down at your work, maybe 10 years down the line and say, oh, I'm proud of what I did, or like, oh yeah, I should have done that, right? So be careful of how you are actually bringing these kind of technologies to the world, and you as a practitioner has a responsibility to make sure that you are doing for the social good.
So we can say that it's all in your hand, right?
Definitely, responsible.
Your creations, your responsibilities is in your hand. What about you, Mr. Alvin?
As for me, my message is take your pace on your own. Learning all of this will be hard, it will be challenging. We need to enjoy the process. But we, as for me, personally, we cannot just let this just go away and don't care about it, because it will be everywhere in our life. It is inevitable. But yeah, the process of this will be challenging. It will be always something new. It will be always something that we need to take care of. We need to be very careful, not only for ourselves, but all of the important people around us, because they will also be affected by it, right? We need to continuously educate them, because as the person who have the knowledge, who have the expertise, I also feel like it's also my responsibility to always educate the people around me. The people are important to me and the community. So that's take the pace and enjoy the process.
Take your pace and enjoy the process. Mr. Prasad.
It's a wonderful time to be alive.
Right? It's a wonderful time to be alive.
I mean, it's amazing to see this kind of innovation, technology that is made available to us, right? And all walks of life, you can use AI as a consumer, right? Creating, expressing your thoughts and creating, let's say, long-form articles, taking long-form articles and summarizing it so that you consume information quickly. Right? Using it in your emails, using it to learn, using it for personalization. As a consumer, it is available. As a developer, you can leverage AI to probably build software faster, build things more efficiently. So AI is super powerful there. AI is able to help with things like threat detection, threat modeling, protecting us, right? Protecting the services that we use. You can leverage AI to build any kind of applications. It has made things so much more democratic. Everybody has access to AI. You can just use these APIs. Whatever if you imagine it, you can build it, right? So AI is helping us in all walks of life. Like I said, it's amazing technology. I love it. I use it a lot day to day for various things, from learning to creating to writing my code. Right? So I think it's great. Just find where you think it makes sense for you to use.
That's it. And yeah, for as a closure for all our discussions for today, if you use AI, then don't forget to also see the probably the original or information that comes to you, especially in these days that there are frauds out there. So please be careful about it. And yeah, please use AI responsibly. I think that's the ideas of our discussions today. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Prasad, Tuya, and also Mr. Alvin for joining us today in our podcast. Hopefully that everyone out there can gain knowledge from our discussions for today. And hopefully for you guys as well, if you want to also have a discussions in the comment sections, just please do so. I'm Paramita Purwawi. Thank you so much. And I'll see you when I see you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.